counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend, you got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Milwaukee Brewers as they are set to take on the Los Angeles Dodgers for game number 3 of the series. It'll be Jose Quintana going up against Tyler Glasnow of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 1:10 first pitch from American Family Field, game number 93 on the season. Milwaukee Brewers 12 games above 500 now, 52-40, a season high with that mark. First thing we do on every leadoff show, however, the starting lineups.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
We have breaking major news. We are looking at the lineups right now, and the Milwaukee Brewers lineup is in, but the LA Dodgers lineup has not yet been reported. That is a first. If we have ever been missing a lineup, it has always been the Milwaukee Brewers lineup. But today, I have the Milwaukee Brewers lineup first, and only the Milwaukee Brewers lineup for you today. Leading things off in right field, it is Sal Frelick. William Contreras is catching. He will bat second. Jackson Chourio in center field will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fourth today. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Bryce Terang at second base will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base is going to bat seventh today. Jake Bauers is the first baseman. He will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Milwaukee Brewers, it'll be Joey Ortiz. He is the shortstop and batting ninth today. That's okay if we don't have a Dodger lineup right now, because everyone wants to talk about the amazing, the wonderful, the perfect, whatever you want to call him right now, Jacob Misiorowski. And he should have an hour of this show dedicated just to him. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. But he had another stellar outing. He was the talk of the town. His post-game presser was absolutely packed, and everyone continuing to talk about Jacob Misiorowski, whether it is local sports radio or, of course, national baseball radio talk, is all about Jacob Misiorowski. Well, let's stop talking about this part of it. Let's get to the rewind already.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Milwaukee Brewers were in action yesterday. It was quite the pitching matchup, as it was Clayton Kershaw going up against Jacob Misiorowski, and no matter where this guy goes, he's got a stud lineup he's got to face, or another great pitcher on the other side, that is Jacob Misiorowski. And it started off with a bang for LA, as the third pitch of the game, after having 2 strikes on Shohei Ohtani, Jacob Misiorowski tried to throw another curveball, and Ohtani sent it 430 feet in the opposite direction. It was 1-0 early for the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. But that would be the only blemish on the day for Jacob Misiorowski. He would start to settle in after that, including striking out the next 3 batters in the first inning. In the second inning, he would strike out all 3 outs as well. He had 6 strikeouts through 2 innings. In the third, he caught himself in a little bit of trouble as Miguel Rojas would reach on a leadoff double. Then he would strike out Shohei Ohtani. Mookie Betts would fly out to center field. We had a runner on third base and Freddie Freeman up to the plate. That's when Jacob Misiorowski would give us our first highlight of the day, a strikeout to end the inning.
Struck him out with a curveball.
Mizorowski pitches around the leadoff double. He K's Ohtani, K's Freeman. 1-0 ball game as we go to the bottom of the third, and the Miz taking center stage.
Center stage is an understatement. This guy has been on everyone's radar now since he has come up. And doing the math, by the way, he has 8 strikeouts through 3 innings now to this point. Not a great first showing through the lineup for the LA Dodgers other than Shohei Ohtani. But the offense continuing to struggle for Milwaukee in the early stages of this game. We head to the 4th inning. That's when we finally saw Andrew Vaughn and Isaac Collins come through with some clutch hitting for the Crew.
Vaughn, left center. It's down, and the Brewers are going to tie the game. Churrio's on his way to third. He's there. 1-1 on Vaughn's RBI single. Collins on the ground. That is a base hit. It's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Yeah, we will cut it off before Andrew Vaughn gets thrown out running to third base. All highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network. In the 6th inning, now we are up 2-1 here for the Milwaukee Brewers. It got a little dicey again. Shohei Ohtani leads things off with a walk, then an infield single from Mookie Betts would have 2 men on. A ground ball that would get Freddie Freeman out at first base, but that was the only out. Then Andy Pages thought maybe he could squeak one by Andrew Monasterio. Andrew had other plans.
Ground ball to third. Monasterio has it. He's coming home, and they got Ohtani. What a play from Monasterio.
Yeah, what a throw. I mean, he had to make sure he cleared Ohtani. Could have easily hit him in the back, but made a perfect throw to Contreras. A backhand pickup, all in one motion, able to get it to Williams. And that wasn't even close to home plate. What a play by Monasterio.
Yeah, that play by Andrew Monasterio, seriously underrated in my eyes right now. I think that play, it's one of the best plays that we've seen him make. And I am a what have you done for me lately kind of guy on this show. I know I have said things about Andrew Monasterio, but I will say this. Hell of a play. That was awesome. Maybe I would say play of the day. Really shut down the momentum. You cut down Shohei Ohtani at the plate who's trying to score on it. It was all in one beautiful motion as well. I was shocked to see Andrew Monasterio make a play like that. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. In the 8th inning, the Brewers getting some insurance thanks to Sal Frelick's 7th homer of the season.
Frelick, right center, hit well, Pages back and out of here! Insurance for the Brewers on number 7 for Sal.
That would come after the Brewers were up 2-1 through 7 innings. Then in the 8th, Sal Frelick led things off with that homer there, 391 feet for Sal Frelick. Trevor McGill comes in, closes things out in the 9th. Brewers win 3-1. I'm not going to spoil what this is because we got to get to the next piece of the show.
Who was the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
6 innings of work, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run on the first batter of the game, mind you, who is also arguably the best player in the sport, and 12 strikeouts on just 1 walk from Jacob Mizorowski. Another star-studded performance for Jacob Mizorowski, doing this against the Los Angeles Dodgers, who is, best lineup in baseball? The top 2 lineup in baseball? And Jacob Mizorowski carved the entire time, probably his best outing we've seen. And we've seen him throw 5 no-hit innings to start his career. But the dominance, it was on display yesterday for Jacob Mizorowski. He spoke to the media after the game. Here is Jacob Mizorowski after the all-time.
Process and take it in?
Oh, God, no.
No? What are you thinking, just with what you just did?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited about it and, just happy for the team.
What are you most excited about with the adjustment you made?
It's awesome to finally, work back from, giving up a home run lead off the game, but, it is what it is, and I think that's my job, is to figure it out on the fly, and I feel like I did it tonight.
Jacob, can you take us through what's going through your mind when Ohtani hits that pitch and then it looked like you got right back in it?
Yeah, I mean, it's Shohei Ohtani. It's what you kind of expect. So it's cool to see him do it in action, but it's fires me up even more. Coming back the next at bat and striking him out. So it's just I'm right there, and I think it was the moment of like, okay, now we go.
Miz, what did you think about the defense going ahead in the sixth inning there? Mona, Vaughn, those two guys really came up big for you, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I have no words. I'm just in awe of those guys and making those plays that they did, and it's awesome. I mean, it's just proves that I'm doing my job that I can, and they're back there doing theirs, and it's a success to win ball games.
Murph, Jacob, when you had a couple of guys on there in the sixth inning, were you kind of half expecting Murph to walk out there and take the ball from you?
Yeah, I mean, I was told I had a short leash in the sixth, and I'm happy they let me go because it was my mistake and my problem I was in. So yeah, it's awesome that they had enough faith in me to get out of it.
You talked about the opportunity and the challenge of that lineup. How much, I guess, how satisfying is it to kind of meet the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's so satisfying. I mean, it's just a dream come true to do what I did, and it's awesome that it was against the Dodgers, but it's no words for it.
A couple weeks ago, we were asking you about the matchup with Skeens, and what was it like today matching up against the future Hall of Famer there in Kershaw?
Yeah, I mean, you have all the respect in the world to face Kershaw and the 3,000 Ks. It's awesome to see a guy like that and match up against him. But I saw something on online that he didn't know who I was, so I hope that he knows me now. Kind of cool. But it is what it is.
He talked after the game, talked about your stuff, saying, "I don't know how you hit that on display." Just when you coming from somebody like that, just how does it feel to hear that kind of compliment from somebody that track right
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's the guy that you looked up to when I was growing up, so it's awesome to hear stuff like that and words of encouragement.
There were several moments today where you pumped your fist, you let out a yell. It kind of seems like you're the kind of guy who just wears his heart on his sleeve. When you're excited, everybody's going to know that you're excited.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm going to let you know, and I'm fired up for every out, every inning. So, whenever I have a good inning, you're going to see me get pumped up and fly off the field. So, I'm trying to, root the team on and do my job and make it easy for the guys behind me.
How do you manage to play within yourself this rookie season? Just how's the organization allowed you to be comfortable focusing on what's going on the field versus the outside noise?
Yeah, I mean, you got guys over there like Freddie and all them that are, just being just good teammates and awesome guys to be around. So I think that's the main thing of, the guys in here that are helped a lot. Haas, for example, just sits down and just talks to me like I'm a normal person. So no, it's awesome.
How much did you look forward to facing Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's another thing that you were like, as a kid, you see him hit 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, and you're like, I want to face that guy. I want to get him out. It's one of those guys that's like on the pedestal, and you're like, okay, let's go get him.
Was there any difference in your approach knowing that you were going against this stacked lineup?
No, it's the exact same. I'm going to play my game and force them to hit it. So, you can't change it for each lineup. You have to just do what you do.
There is Jacob Misiorowski speaking to the media after the game yesterday. Star-studded performance, as we said, 6 innings, 12 strikeouts for Jacob Misiorowski against maybe the best lineup in baseball. And you heard him there, the compliments from Clayton Kershaw. We gathered some of those as well after the game. Here's what Kershaw had to say on Jacob Misiorowski and his performance.
Misiorowski. Yeah, I know him now, huh? I mean, that was super impressive. Yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable. It was really special. I mean, everything, obviously the velo, but he's got 4 pitches, commands the ball, and made it. I mean, I don't know how you hit that, honestly. That's just really tough.
It was really tough indeed, Clayton Kershaw. Pat Murphy impressed after the game as well. Here is what the manager had to say after Jacob Misiorowski's 6 innings, 12 strikeout performance against LA.
The kid, again, has elevated his game to another level. Like giving up the leadoff home run. It's like getting knocked down in the first round. You got to stand up and here's one of the best hitters in the game, and he leaves a breaking ball up. Didn't finish it. Gives up a homer. And wow, it's like taking a stiff one in the first round. And then he got back up, took a standing 8, got back up, and battled. And we normally could have taken him out in the 6th, but his stuff just ticked up in the 6th, and we're like, keep him in. And he went through the heart of the order 3rd time, and that's not easy against a team like this. So hats off to him and to William, the job he did, and it's just really great to see. And we played really good defense. Monastero made a really nice play in the 6th, and Vaughn made a nice play in the 6th, and it just everybody kind of came together, and that was good. And our relief pitching after that, Koenig, Uribe, and McGill, that's real good. That's as good as Koenig's thrown the ball in a while. And what can you say? Uribe and McGill have been great. McGill, really underrated.
I was going to say, Murph, that's 2 runs allowed against the Dodgers in 18 innings so far.
Yeah, they're not at 100%. They're not at their best. They're not in their best state right now. But maybe we aren't either. So it's like just keep not worrying about that. They're going to be plenty good, and they are plenty good. So can't worry about that stuff. But our pitching staff's been very, very good, and this means a lot to him. So.
Murph, how important was that 6th inning just for his development to get into that jam with 2 on and nobody out, and be able to get himself out of it when he's at the end of an outing like that?
Yeah. That's the maturity we're talking about. That's why we, in the back of my mind, I was like, hey, I want to win this game. But what an experience for Miz to go through this and face Freeman and Pages and in a big situation. That's what it's about. And he got the job done. So. Yeah, you feel great for the kid. You feel great for him.
After that first Ohtani at bat, when he makes that mistake with the curveball, the second time he comes up to go right back at him with that same pitch and execute and get him.
And that's William's help. That's William understanding. Like, look, you got to know that your curveball's plenty good when you execute it. That's the game. Pitching is not just throwing 100 miles an hour and not having something to go with it. So it's really. He's a pitcher. He's a pitcher.
Sal and the leadoff spot and just what he's been able to provide as a spark, but the power development for him has kind of been a new thing. Now it's the 7th of the season. Just kind of what have you seen from him to tap into that more this year?
Let's not talk about Sal and power, okay? He's 5'5" and 155. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Anybody clicks a ball in the front. You know what I mean? If you click a ball, it's going to leave, Let's not start putting that in his head. Do you know what that would do to Sal? Want to keep him right where he is. He's a year away from Brandeis Graduate School. You know what I mean?
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media after the 3-1 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 2 of the series. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now, Milwaukee, we talked about it, 12 games above 500 and a series win now clinched. It is the team's first series win over the Dodgers since 2021 at American Family Field, and they are now 11-4 in series play at home, and they have not lost at home for a series and hasn't lost at home. We'll ignore that one right there. But yes, the Milwaukee Brewers having a fantastic start now against the Dodgers in this series. Time to finish it in a rubber match here with Jose Quintana and Tyler Glasnow on the bump. Coming up, we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's going to join us, try to get us some of the best bets if we want to get any action on today's game. It is the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz getting you caught up on all things Milwaukee Brewers. Before we get to Austin Herdina, we do have LA's lineup. I will run through that very quickly. Top three go Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Will Smith. Freddie Freeman, Andy Pages, Tommy Edman will be 4 through 6. Miguel Rojas, Esteuri Ruiz, and James Outman round out the bottom three. For the Milwaukee Brewers, Sal Frelick leads things off in right field. William Contreras is catching, batting second. Jackson Chourio in center field will bat third. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting fourth today. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Bryce Terang, the second baseman, bats sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat seventh today. Jake Bauers at first base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop and batting ninth today. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, on the Gruber Law Office's guest hotline. You can find him over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's the manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is Austin Herdina joining the leadoff show. Austin, how we doing, my friend?
We're doing great. Another Brewer win yesterday. It's exciting.
I mean, that was incredible yesterday, what Jacob Misiorowski was able to do. I don't know about you, Austin. Have you ever been this excited about anyone coming up through the Brewers system ever at what you have seen so far with what he's been able to do in the major league scene?
You know what? From a pitching standpoint, no. I was obviously pretty excited with Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun and those guys. But from a pitching standpoint, no. I can't think of another guy that's been, homegrown guy that, we've brought up the system and made the majors and had this much excitement.
Yeah, it's been incredible, and he's just had so many pitching matchups in which he is out-dueling now in his latest version Clayton Kershaw, but also Joe Ryan, Sonny Gray, Paul Skeens. There was such a huge buzz around that as well, and he's lived up to the moment. He gets to bounce back after the poor start in New York as well. I think that really showed up. And he bounced back even in the game. Leadoff home run to maybe the best player in the league, Shohei Ohtani, and then he proceeds to strike out 12 more Dodgers in 5 2/3, I guess all 6 innings there from that point on. Austin Herdina joining the leadoff show as he does each and every day. Austin, looking at your most popular bets today, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Moneyline is favoring LA today, plus 130 for Milwaukee. Dodgers on the 1.5 run line are at plus 107, and the over-under set at 8.5. What are you liking today over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook? Get a parlay for the people going.
So, Tommy, if you remember, when early on in the season, anytime the Brewers were a favorite, they were winning at a really high rate, and when they were an underdog, they were losing at a really high rate.
Yes.
And now we've won. The Brewers have won 9 of the last 10 games when they've been an underdog,
wow,
which is pretty incredible. And then as far as the run line goes, we've covered the run line as underdogs in 10 straight games. So my pick today is Brewers plus 1.5. I'm riding that run line. 10 in a row is solid. And here's a couple other things that are interesting on 10 in a row. Bryce Terang has gotten a hit at home games 10 times in a row. Jose Quintana has had 4 or more strikeouts at home games 10 times in a row. So all three of these things have happened 10 times in a row. So we're going Brewers plus 1.5, Bryce Terang to get a hit, and Jose Quintana 4 or more strikeouts. Okay. And that's plus 310 on your parlay.
Plus 310 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That parlay, again, Brewers plus 1.5 on the run line. Terang to get a hit, Quintana to get 4 strikeouts. It'll pay plus 310 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I mean, that would be an incredible hit right there. And I like the theme of 10 times in a row we have. Might as well ride these streaks while they're going. Heading into the All-Star break here soon for Milwaukee. Honestly, Austin, could you have dreamt of, is it almost like playing with house money today after taking the first 2 against LA?
Yeah, but I mean, gosh, getting a sweep would be pretty awesome.
Wouldn't it?
They've lost 5 in a row, I believe. I mean, you look into how high can this team go. If the Brewers are going to contend for a division, can they also contend for, do we want to get excited about them and contend for, some home field in the playoffs? Who knows? How high can this team go? I don't know. Are we going to make a move before the deadline? I don't know. But yeah, getting a sweep against the Dodgers is just going to go a long way towards our confidence going into the break.
Yeah, absolutely. Austin Herdina joining us from the Potawatomi Sportsbook after the win yesterday too. Brewers now 2.5 games back of the Cubs. Talking about that division title, you were just saying there, Austin. Brewers on the heels for sure. What's going on over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook people should know about? And I meant no slander on table tennis yesterday, by the way. I was just showing the variety. And then you told me that table tennis is the 4th most bet sport at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
In last month it was.
Okay.
Yeah, not always, but
okay.
Last month, with other sports that wind down in the NBA, NHL, no longer having much going on. But yeah, it's something that, we definitely offer, and it runs almost 24/7. The matches are free to watch online. You can place these bets, and these games happen super fast. So you're placing bets, and you're winning or losing in a matter of minutes most of the time.
It looks like yesterday I think there was 17 bets, and today there's 52. Like they're just every day. Like might as well add some more on there. Bunch of different stuff over in the Czech Republic League right now. Watching it on YouTube, like you said. How big is your screen there, Austin, over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
2,000 square feet.
I mean, massive. You can watch anything you want over there coming up. Summer League action for the Bucks, Brewers games as well here too. And if they want to book a reservation for a special event like a UFC pay-per-view or for SummerSlam in early August, how do they do that, Austin?
You're going to go to Potawatomi.com, go to sports, and go to reservations. And I want to plug one more thing here. We got this Friday night, Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, the 3rd match of their boxing trilogy, pay-per-view. We're having it. So Friday night, you want to come into Potawatomi, watch some boxing, we'll have it.
That's going to be awesome. Any lean on that one? I mean, Serrano's just so fun to watch, but, I mean, Katie is really taking it to her as well over the time.
You know what? I don't know. I got to look into it a little more.
Okay.
I'll have a pick for you by Friday.
All right. I like it. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. His parlay for the people today in the Brewers game that he likes. It is the Brewers to cover the 1.5 run line. So even if they lose by 1 today, that's still going to hit. Bryce Terang to get a hit, and Jose Quintana 3.5 or more strikeouts. So obviously he has to get to the 4 strikeout mark. And now the odds actually just changed on it. It was plus 310 in the time from when I had been talking. Now it is plus 320 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So you're getting pretty good odds, 3.2 to 1 on that one, right? Go place $1, win $3.20. Coming up now, it's time for our Building a Winner feature with Ironworkers Local 8.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Be a cowboy of the sky. Apply now at IWL8.org. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. And of course, we had an off day on Monday, so the Building a Winner feature gets a little bit hit on that. Well, we were back to regular baseball, and we start things off in AAA.
Nashville Sounds.
Yeah, yesterday Nashville wins 12-2 over the Durham Bulls, Tampa Bay's AAA affiliate. In that game, Jared Oliva had 2 home runs and had a double in the contest, 12-2 over Durham. The game was the second of Oliva's professional career with 2 homers. He also did it back in 2023 when he was on the Salt Lake Bees, that is Anaheim's, or Angels AAA affiliate. 4 RBIs, 1 off his career high in the contest as well. He's one of 4 players to record 2 RBIs in the 10-run victory. Oliver Dunn, Drew Avons, Ernesto Martinez Jr. all doing that as well. A hit parade in Nashville as the Sounds would win 12-2, improve to 51-35 on the season. 7-6 in the second half. That's the record we want to be looking at if they want to find a way to get into the postseason play. They are tied for second currently right now in the West Division.
Biloxi Shuckers.
The Biloxi Shuckers fell to the Birmingham Barons yesterday as the Shuckers would fall 7-5 in the contest. Yesterday, we saw Xavier Warren go 1 for 3 in the contest. Really, not a whole lot on the offensive side. They are in third place right now in the South Division, 7-6 in the second half. However, they have clinched postseason play, as you remember. They won the first half. That automatically guarantees them a spot in the postseason play at the end of the season. On the bump today, Coleman Crow, by the way, for Nashville, and Brett Witrowski will be pitching for the Biloxi Shuckers. So two very awesome prospects on the bump today for Milwaukee in today's minor league action.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers taking on the South Bend Cubs, and they fell 13-4. Blake Burke, however, 2 for 5, had a run score, came across in that contest. Has been a tough second half for the Timber Rattlers so far. 5-11 right now in the second half. They are 39-42 overall, but a couple of guys being called up during that process. Obviously, a lot harder to sustain that success. Ryan Pritchard is on the bump today for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. Game is in Appleton. 12:10 is the start time as well. This says AM. I seriously doubt they are playing at midnight. I'm assuming they meant 12:10 p.m. on this minor league report, but need to get back in the win column. 5-11 second half has not been kind to the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Carolina Mudcats.
Mudcats, they also fell yesterday, 5-4 to the Fredericksburg Nationals, Washington's low A affiliate. In the game, however, Braylon Payne 1 for 2, had a homer, also 2 walks, stolen base. Filippo DeTuri 1 for 3 in the contest. We're trying to see this Mudcats team really catch fire. They are 10-5 in the second half. They are in first place currently in the North Division. They obviously fell apart at the back end of the first half last half for Carolina in the Carolina League. They need to be in postseason play. That would be so electric. This is a team that we know if they are going toe-to-toe with any other minor league team in A-ball, they're going to do just fine. They're 46-33 currently on the season. It'll be Melvin Hernandez, one of the top pitching prospects at that low A level, on the bump for Carolina.
Arizona Complex League Brewers.
The Complex League yesterday winning 3-2. Josh Adamczewski, who's out on assignment for rehab right now, 2 for 4, had 2 doubles in the game. Dominican Summer League Blue team wins over the Royals team, and the Dominican Summer League Gold team wins over the Cleveland team. 4-3 yesterday for the Milwaukee Brewers as an organization. 235 in 195 right now on the year for the Brewers minor league. That is the 4th best currently of any National League team, 6th overall as far as baseball has gone. Remember, we just saw the Brewers Complex League Pitcher of the Month award from Griffin Tobias. Jonathan Rangel also won that for the offensive side. This Building a Winner feature brought to you by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Field.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something, or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, you heard the big voice, ladies. The Leadoff Show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time to eye up the enemy here. We always have to do this when Jose Quintana is on the bump because he has been in the league for so long now. Everyone with a little bit of experience who has been in the league has probably faced Jose Quintana. And starting at the top part, Shohei Ohtani, he is 1 for 1. You want to guess what happened on that one at-bat? He homered. Yes, he has a home run. Mookie Betts, 9 for 30, has homered off of Quintana. Will Smith, 2 for 11 right now, also has a home run against Quintana. Freddie Freeman, 5 for 16, has also homered against Quintana. then it's all done from there. No one else is homered, but some good numbers as well. Andy Pajes is 2 for 5. Tommy Edman 3 for 10. Miggy Rojas is 4 for 13. It'll be the first time Esteury Ruiz and James Outman ever face Jose Quintana. On the Brewers side against Tyler Glasnow. Now, Glasnow has been out for some time now here in the league. He has not pitched he has just 5 starts on the season, and the last time he pitched was back on April 27th against the Pirates, in which he only went 1 inning in that contest. So it'll be the first time he's getting any work in any recent time. Sal Frelick 0 for 2 in his career. Contreras 0 for 3. Churio 0 for 2. Yelich is 0 for 9 with 5 strikeouts. Has definitely had his number. Only person that has taken Tyler Glasnow deep in the Brewers lineup today, Jake Bauers. Of course. Why not? Why not Jake Bauers, right? He's batting 8th today. He is 1 for 3 in his career against Tyler Glasnow. That 1 hit being a home run. The other 2 at-bats, strikeouts. Yes, that's pretty much what you get when you have Jake Bauers. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports. We'll get his insight on what happened yesterday with Jacob Mizorowski, and then preview Game 3 against the Los Angeles Dodgers as Jose Quintana duels off against Tyler Glasnow. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com. Ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, The Fan Milwaukee, let me run down the Milwaukee Brewers lineup one last time for you guys here today. Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. William Contreras is catching, batting second. Jackson Churio in center field will bat third. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting fourth today. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Bryce Terang at second base bats sixth. Caleb Durbin bats seventh and is playing third base. Jake Bowers at first base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. You can follow him on Twitter at @byandrewwagner. Find his work at Forbes Sports and at thefanmilwaukee.com. It is Drew Wagner joining the Leadoff Show. Drew, how are we doing today? I know it's not quite morning, but good morning for you.
Good morning.
Drew, yesterday we saw Jacob Misiorowski go out and carve the Los Angeles Dodgers lineup up after yesterday. What was that performance like in person while you were watching it there? Because I don't think a lot of people were ready for him to bounce back quite as hard as he did, especially when it started off with a bang from Shohei Ohtani. But talk about that, the atmosphere, it looked packed there. It's must-watch TV now when Misiorowski is up there.
So you may not know this about me, Tommy, but I'm a bit of a sardonic misanthrope, a little bitter and jaded and, sarcastic.
Yes.
I'm sorry to, disappoint you with that revelation, but I say that because I was impressed. Like, I thought when Ohtani blasted that 0-2 hanging curve, like, all right, here we go. The kid's going to get just ripped.
Right.
And then you come back and you strike out Betts, Freeman, and
Pages.
who was sitting clean up for him. Pages. I mean, okay, he can't do this again. Like, he just caught fire here. And then to come out, fire the next two guys in the second inning, strikeouts. I mean, I have not seen anything like that. I covered CC's run in 2008, and that was about as impressive as it gets, considering he was literally carrying that team on their back and breaking a 26-year nightmare. What this kid is doing, I don't have words for it anymore. I really don't. It boggles the mind. It defies logic. No one should be this good this early. So, yeah, I'm honestly speechless at this point.
Well, right, and it was like a double bounce back, right, Drew? You talk about it. The last outing, he gets shelled. He has a big inning. And then immediately Shohei, who's the best player in the sport, one of the best players in the sport, right, comes out and punches you in the mouth. Like, he got hit twice. And Pat Murphy talked about it. Oh, it's like he got knocked out and stood up on an 8 count. It was 9, and the ref was lenient because it had been a while since we saw it out of Jacob Misiorowski in terms of his length of time. But what he was able to do, bouncing back after the Mets outing and getting shelled off of Shohei Ohtani from the jump, I don't want to sound like I'm hyperbolizing anything because I feel like this is maybe the most exciting prospect or up-and-comer the Brewers have had in my lifetime. And does that sound crazy in the last 25 years?
No, not at all. I'm going to say right now, at this exact minute, I'm not talking about overall, I'm not talking about career, I'm not talking about history. Right now, Jacob Misiorowski is the best pitcher in baseball. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, it is incredible what this kid has been able to do. He's got work to do. And that's the scary thing is, like, he's still a work in progress. He's still got to, keep an eye on those walks. He did a great job of it yesterday, only walking one batter. He's got 10 and 30 innings, which isn't horrible, but that's the one knock on him is when he gets a little bit rattled, the command starts to disappear. But here's the most incredible thing about yesterday. You think Jacob Misiorowski, what's the first thing you think of?
The velocity.
Right, the fastball. Only 3 of his 12 strikeouts yesterday came on the fastball. 7 of them came on the curveball.
And he didn't even throw that a lot in his first few outings, Drew.
No. We talked about this with Quinn Priester and Chad Patrick, where, they've got a pitch that they don't use much because it hasn't had a lot of success here or there. And Contreras will call for it. And all of a sudden, you get some play out of it. And now all of a sudden, you have more confidence. You have a whole nother weapon. And that was the thing that Dave Roberts talked about yesterday. Like, yeah, the velo was incredible. Like, it's mind-bending to sit there and try to hit against a guy that throws that hard. But what really stood out to Dave Roberts was the way that he used his secondary pitches to hide that fastball, to keep guys guessing. You have got to master those pitches if you're at the big league level. You can have the greatest fastball in the world, but if you don't have secondary pitches, a big league hitter can sit and ambush a fastball all day, no matter how fast it's thrown. The fact that he's got 3 others that are equally devastating and equally effective, the sky's the limit for this kid.
Well, high praise from Drew Wagner, which does not happen very often, people. So make sure you remember that, because I mean, Drew is about as down to earth and reporter as it gets usually, and the high praise that comes with much caution for sure from Drew Wagner. He knows what he's saying. And Drew Wagner, you can follow him on Twitter @ByAndrewWagner. He just put up Drew's notebook, Brewers notebook, up on the fanmilwaukee.com. Had a post-game coverage of that as well. Thanks for doing that. Sent over some of the sound you heard.
Not sponsored yet.
Not sponsored yet. There you go. Nice shameless plug. Shameless plug there, Drew. Now, Drew, going into today's game, let's talk a little bit about that. How much of it is an advantage or a disadvantage to face a pitcher like Tyler Glasnow, who hasn't pitched since April and is going to come out and do some work? So you would assume he'll be on some sort of pitch count. You won't have to see him too deep into a ball game. But this guy's also been very much noted as a guy with nasty stuff. He's got a bender. He can throw heat on top of it. And there's not a lot of film on him this year. Do you think that hurts or benefits a lineup like the Milwaukee Brewers?
It depends, I mean, I think the key is you have to get on him early. And that's kind of the key with any starting pitcher. But he's going to come out and try to establish himself early. And the last thing you want to do is give that guy confidence early on. That's when guys can settle in. Don't let a guy settle in. We saw it with Yamamoto 2 nights ago. Get on him early. Be a little bit more aggressive. Even if it means you make some outs early on, be aggressive early. Try to get him rattled a little bit and get at him before he has a chance to catch his breath, put the jitters behind him, and settle it. I think that's the key.
Drew, we were talking yesterday a little bit about the injury situation and the bummer that is Rhys Hoskins, but Andrew Vaughn, his first 2 games, looked very serviceable and some, right? He homered in his first AB. He got a hit, an RBI single yesterday. He's been playing fine at first base. Andrew Vaughn, if he is playing at what the Brewers believe could be his peak is, how valuable do you think he could be down the stretch as a bat for Milwaukee and as another addition at first base?
Oh, regardless of his production or what he does on the field, he already has my vote for most valuable player because his walk-up music is Johnny Cash. God's going to cut you down. So automatically a winner in my book. But no, you're right. Like, listen, if he can go out here and be productive, he doesn't even have to be, dominant, world-beating. He doesn't have to be an absolute slugger. The thing that stood out for me so far in his limited, time with the Brewers, it wasn't so much the home run, which, don't get me wrong, was impressive. It was the single that he hit yesterday, the RBI single, because you could see, I talked about this when he got called up. He drives the ball hard. And for a team that's really good on the base pass, a guy that can hit the ball into the gap that hard, now all of a sudden you're looking at guys going, first to third, first to home. It changes the game. A guy that has power, true power, and I don't just mean over-the-fence power, but a guy that can drive the ball to the gaps, that hits hard singles and long doubles, that leads to more runs.
Yeah, that's funny you bring that up because he hit a foul ball yesterday after I believe it was his single, and I just ripped it, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like you could feel the power on Andrew Vaughn on even just the foul ball. That's crazy. I was literally thinking that yesterday. That's crazy you bring that up. Drew, Quintana on the bump today. Is Quintana the sneaky Murph's favorite pitcher to throw out there because every single time it feels like he talks about Quintana, he's just so impressed with him. He is, you got to know, he loves the veteran presence on the team. And he's a guy that just knows every situation, it feels like, in Major League Baseball. I think he's got the 4th most innings of any active pitcher in baseball right now. I just wanted to know if you've ever asked him if he has a ranking of his favorite players, because it seems like Pat Murphy loves Jose Quintana.
Yeah, Jose Quintana is definitely high up on his list. I mean, listen, Murph was pretty adamant about the Brewers going out and getting him during spring training. He made several references to it in the time that I was there those first couple of weeks. And then the signing was announced a couple of days after I got back to Wisconsin. He wanted this guy on the roster, and you just kind of outlined why. You know, he wants a guy like that. He wants a gamer that's been out there, that isn't going to get phased, that isn't going to get rattled, that has seen it, been there, done that, all of the above. Listen, it hasn't always been pretty, but Quintana has more often than not gotten the job done. And that's what you need. You know, that's what your quote-unquote 5th starter is, a guy that has been out there, that has been through the battles, that has different ways of getting you out, understands what he's good at, what he doesn't do well anymore, pitching to his strengths, knowing how to get through a lineup, how to deal with different batters. He's the definition of the crafty veteran, you know?
Drew Wagner joining the leadoff show. Drew, a couple, last week, I believe, we were talking about this when we brought up the 2011 team and how that team only had 6 starting pitchers that whole season. You remember this conversation?
I do, and it was Marco Estrada.
I did, yes. I went and looked it up the other day. I wanted to remind you. I forgot to yesterday. How could we forget Marco Estrada? 2-time no-hitter or one no-hitter, right? I think for sure. Yeah, he was a stud back then too. Jose Quintana versus Tyler Glasnow today. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on today. We'll talk again on Friday. Enjoy the off day yesterday. Enjoy the game today with Mitch Nellis.
Sound good.
There he is, Drew Wagner. You can follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner. Follow his work @Forbes Sports, and has some stuff up on thefanmilwaukee.com that you can read into. He joins us on the Gruber Law Office's fan guest hotline. Gruber Law, one call. That's all. Last thing to get to before we get out of here.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game. I'm going to steal from Mr. Drew Wagner. As we just heard, Glasnow has not pitched since the last week of April. And when the Brewers score first, they are much better than if they are coming from behind when the opponent scores first. Brewers are 42-13 when they score first in a ball game. And Tyler Glasnow, as we know, probably won't be in this game past 75, 85 pitches, if you had to guess, just based on a return and how you might go. And that's if everything's perfect. Now, he does have nice stuff. Does have nasty stuff. I'll give him that. But if the Brewers can do something similar to what they did to Yamamoto in Game 1, where the bullpen already hurting a little bit for LA, that's going to be massive in trying to gather a sweep of the Los Angeles Dodgers today in Game 3. That is today's keys to the game. That's going to do it for us here on the Leadoff Show. Make sure you guys check us out wherever you get your podcasts. We podcast all of these as well, whether it's Apple, iHeart, Odyssey as well, being a part of it. And on top of that, we are on YouTube. Make sure you guys check out the YouTube streams, thefanmilwaukee.com/at. It is youtube.com/@thefanmilwaukee. That's going to do it for us here on the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Oh, don't forget, send them home.